Alright, wanted to make a video today about a binder collection that I just started, or cards that I've kind of abandoned. I'm going through my collection and pulling out abandoned cards. When I was looking for some of these cards, I found some other abandoned cards here, and I don't know where exactly I'm going to put them, but I found pages and pages of signed Magic the Gathering trading cards by different artists. And some of them are like bunches of them. I told one guy to keep the extra cards, and they signed them all. So there's that one sheet here. There's some more random ones mixed in here. Some people just have initials. Some people have a full signature. Sometimes just their first name. So there's that one, and there's some on the back here too. There's a few other ones on the back here too. The lighting is not great here. And then I found some more on this page. You know, just a random page. And then there's another page, and a lot of these are Douglas Schuler here. So I don't know, and there's another Alexander Paul that I had there, and this is Mike Darr. I don't know the authenticity of that one, but picked that up like probably 7 years ago. I really don't remember. But anyway, so that's not really the cards in question, but I found all those while searching for other things. So if you don't know, or if I didn't mention before, I had a huge box of Pokemon, and every year I would give them off to whoever was asking. So I gave some to the neighbor kids, I gave some to some relatives of mine, I think I gave some to my nephew and different people, and I think some of my sister's kids. I really don't know. And those Pokemon were added from, you know, a big box that I got at the gaming store, and then also every time I find ones at the Goodwill bins, I would just randomly grab a bunch of. I tried to grab like the holofoils and pretty much any character card, and I never really found very much, if any, trainers there. Never. That's just a popular card there. A popular thing to collect, and I almost never found any trainers. I think Chris Graff's 101 was collecting trainers for a while. He picked up a Skyla, I think it was. It's probably like a $30-$40 card. Maybe it's 50 now. I really don't know. But yeah, so, and I don't know if he's still doing that anymore. But I didn't watch any Pokemon videos until they started getting recommended, and all the card shows were being chock filled with Pokemon sellers. So I started watching a few, and unfortunately there's a lot of cursing in some of these. A lot of people with some kind of very strange attire and weird language and some of these things, so you have to watch out if you decide to watch some of those on YouTube. There's some pretty good ones out there. They're like the dad channels and sort of things, so they don't really do anything that would upset their kids or their audience, because the parents watch with them, and other people are geared to the people that played when they were kids, so they are probably between 35 and 50, and so it's like, my gosh, it's just I just can't handle this. But some of them have really good information, and one was showing how to buy off TCG Player, and I've never done that before, but I wanted to check. The interesting thing about TCG Player is that there's a lot of penny and dime cards there, but you have to buy them all from different sellers. Sometimes there's ways you can get them all combined into one order or whatever, but buying from different sellers, and they're just like eBay. They have good rating and bad rating. So I was checking out eBay as well, and one person had 92% feedback. You're like, well, that's not terrible. But what happens is they slip in some kind of less than stellar cards in people's orders every once in a while, because I take the feedback section with a grain of salt, because and this person was very hostile in the comments. Oh, crybaby, buyer wanted free cards from me, when he doesn't get, and stuff like that. Very strange for sellers to use that kind of language, so you stay away from those. They have one of these big eBay stores. It's like, buy this and get this and get this and get this, and so they have a lot of, and they take offense when people complain about the condition of their cards, because they're from their mindset is like, what do you expect? You're only spending $5 total. You shouldn't really be complaining about the prices I gave on cards, and I gave you deals and combined shipping and all that. And that's what entices people into those, because everybody wants free shipping. They want to avoid any kind of shipping. No sense in paying $6 for a card. The book's at $6 and having to pay $2 for shipping. Now you just paid $8, and you've got to go around looking for different sellers. And not everybody wants to be the person that lost by a few cents at the auctions. They just want that card to be over and done with, because their card shop may not have that particular trainer or whatever they're choosing to grab. And so I don't have my binder all organized here. It just willy-nilly don't have anything. In fact, I'm missing a dozen or more cards that I cannot find. I'm missing a Charizard that I thought I had. I'm missing a Kabu. I don't know, it was a rare or secret rare I picked up at the gaming store a while back ago. Numerous other things that I thought I had. You know, there was one rare that I might have picked up on eBay, and I think I was going to go for trainers and try to do, I don't know, like a page build of just one trainer and just have, like, you know, 9 cards of the same one there and all different kinds of things here. And again, I just don't know. These are all random cards. Some of them were purchased when you can get multiples for the same amount of money as $1 would provide you. That's the difference between TCG Player and eBay, is that eBay is a minimum of $1, unless it's auction of some kind. But, you know, again, you have to, so a lot of these cards you're paying $1 for a card that's only worth 10 or 25 cents. But it used to be that like Magic or any kind of cards, and that's how I knew about this, is that they had the multiplier there. And so if you were buying this Skyla card here, which just happens to be just a very common one there, a trainer card there, you might be able to get 2 or 3 for that $1, and sometimes even free shipping. But now it's like, just buy the cards you need. Don't ever go to those listings, because I have never found the cards I ever needed. They're all sold out, or they're not even shown or listed. So I think it's just a trick image to get people to get into that listing. It's like, wow, this card is in the, you know, the $1 to, you know, unless you're Johnny on the spot and get the very first card, then but they don't always show up in the completed listings. They'll show the ones that are sold out or out of stock, but it won't show, you know, it's very confusing. So maybe it's a bait and switch, showing cards, you know, like a Michael Jordan card that never was a Michael Jordan card, between $1 and $2.50 free shipping. There may never have been. And there's all different kinds of logos and things. Again, I just wanted to just kind of get all my collections sorted the best that I can. I mean, I've invested very little time and effort in this, but I do want to have a small collection, like, you know, because it's the hot thing right now. I just do want to, you know, because I keep seeing it in everybody's videos, little bits of Pokemon here and there, people switching up their channels to that instead of sports cards, so that people are going back and forth, and then they'll switch to something else when it starts to, you know, when it starts to get too crazy or whatever. And then there's some other ones here, just again, the lighting is going to be terrible. There's a Mew promo that I've had since the early 2000s or whatever. It just, you know, that just was given to me by a guy that LCS free promos. They're like, oh great. And I actually did play the game at that time, so I mean, I do have some tiny little background, you know, but not very much. So I'm one of the few people that can say they actually played the game. People actually just collect here. And again, all of these were picked out of the garbage pile at the Goodwill bin store. Nearly all of those. The Mr. Mime, I don't know what that goes for there, but and I'm looking up cards, you know, like the rare full art trainers. That's what everybody seems to want, is full art. I need to look up this Gyarados or whatever, and I found that one at the bins. I had to have, because I don't know exactly. And again, this is in really awesome condition. It's not mint by any means, but it is got a little eensy-weensy ding right there that would kill the value right there. Somebody's like, hey, I didn't get a 9 or a 10. What are you doing to me? You gave me a 7. But you know what? It cost me a fraction of a cent. So I was really happy to. And then there's this one here, Luxray. I'm not exactly sure what this is. And again, I don't know the difference between real cards and fake cards and all kinds of, you know, customs out there. And I don't really want to add any customs into my collection unless I set it off to the side and have it as a custom. And then the Japanese language cards or other language cards there, most of them are in another binder, the Japanese cards binder. But I'm not really going after those, but, you know, I'm a completist, so I would try to, you know, get all the different varieties of a certain card there. Just the last pages in the binder have some Star Wars cards in there, so that is that one there. But I wanted to just show you a very couple small things here, and then we'll finish off here because I don't want to have a super long video here. But we just want to go here, and I'm looking at, here's TCG Player right here, and I'm looking at, looks like I'm at the main page, so I don't know what happened here, but should not be at the main page. I don't know what happened there. I went backwards. I was trying to find, I found a seller that I kind of liked, and then And then I'm trying to figure out, I'll just go back here. And then I found a seller I kind of liked, and I was hoping to be able to search through that one seller. So if I wanted to do an order, because it says $1.31, but if you spend over $5, you get free shipping. So, that would be the idea to do that. The cards that I'm looking for are pretty much very on point with what eBay is going for, other than the ones that are under $1. And then that's where you want to save your money, because if you want to get these, other cards that are not the full art cards, you can save an awful lot of money by doing this here. But I'm looking at full art for sale, and again, we got all kinds of. Now this is kind of a trick one here, because this one's $1 to 99 cents to 195, 69 cents delivery. But the thing is that Sonia card is not part of the deal there, and I don't think it ever was. And that's a difficult thing there. I guess maybe at one point it was not $1.95, it was 99 cents to like $15, and somebody bought that card. And then now it's the most expensive one is $1.95. But again, I don't know if that card was ever there. It could have just been a trick, just to get people to buy that. Because clicking on that, and you look at their listing, you spent all this time here. Again, this card here from Sun and Moon, Lily, is that going to be in the here? And you see, look at Lily, almost every single listing that I've ever found of the buy the cards you need has never had the goodie image there. Never. See, I'm trying to see if I can find that. And see, there's trainer, and so far I haven't found a trainer yet. I've been getting to learn, the people's names here, so. And I don't know what card that was. Let's see if I can find that one here. I'm not finding it so far. Zubat, Ololan, Grinner, Reverse Hollow, Drowsy, Hypno. So far I'm not finding yet. And then again, there's these ones that are listed in the gray. It's out of stock there, but I'm not finding Lily out of stock. So it's very quite possible that the Dapper Dad has decided to just show me that image and never put it in their bargain section. Never. I would like to know what they were trying to get out of it, but it's just crazy. And again, a lot of these people that are, you've been looking at the exact same stores over and over again. It's just really confusing. And one of the last things I want to talk about, there's a lot of brand new stores out there. People have only, again here, there's a Skyla Shining Fates. There's no way she's going to be in the $1.44 listing there. If it ever was, it's just a trick to get you to click on that listing, and they sell other cards because of it. And again, I don't want the cards I need, buy the card. So I would have to basically try to remove those from my listings here. Very frustrating here, because you get all these fancy, shiny, mega foil Japanese rare cards here, but is that what you're getting? It's really, again, very clickbaity here. I looked up the Cat Trainer TCG, and 99.2. I don't know why he's called Cat Trainer. Maybe he likes cats, and maybe it's a single cat person that's very, a childless cat lady. I don't really know, but anyway, we'll see. And again, there's all kinds of, you got to watch what you're doing, because there's a lot of new sellers out there and a lot of old sellers there, just because you're getting the cheapest card. But one of the things that this guy on YouTube said, and it makes sense, don't buy stock image cards. But there's tens of thousands of listings out there that are stock image cards that are not going to show you the exact card you get. And so if you're really worried about, again, all these ridiculous listings here, I think it should be banned, bait and switch items. It was never there to begin there in the first place. Very sucking to have that, again, because I looked at Full Art Trainer, and of course, you do lowest first, and eBay has already taken some of the listings away, and I wanted to show you some of the actual ones I was looking at here. Not this one here. Let's get out of this one here. Not this one here. There's Eri. I think it's ERI. So there's one that's an actual one showing the actual card there, and it's $5.21, but somebody wants $5.75 for shipping. I found that card much cheaper from other vendors. There's Professor Burnett or whatever, and that one is $5 plus $1.25 for shipping. So that's why I wanted to go to the other one. Here's the Misfortune Sisters. Very poorly taken picture there. I don't know what happened there, but the shimmer has gotten in the way of the card, so I don't know how they took care of that one. And this person only has 65 cells. So there's a lot of people that just started selling this year, which is absolutely crazy. That's a Digimon. Those are Digimon cards that got in there somehow. Not really looking for Digimon, but so I'm looking at these, and I'm looking at different full arts or different people, and what's crazy is people put full art in the title or somewhere in there, and you get all these cards that are not full art. And here's Paldean Students here. Free delivery for $1.98. So if you just want to get started and just, the way to do this Pokemon thing here is just go and buy like a couple of like the full art cards for, $2. Free shipping when you look for them. Just buy any of them. Then you can get an idea of what you're looking at, what things are going to be like, and how the shipping times are going to work. I was looking at TCG Player there. I'm looking at Clive. I don't know if you can see Clive or not, but you swear he was just some sort of, AI-generated Japanese Morrissey or something like that. Look at this. I mean, you swear that's like some sort of AI-generated Morrissey. That's crazy. Clive. I mean, that's a British name, Excuse me. My lunch is just really kicking back on me. I had one of the hottest lunches on the planet. And then there's some other cards here I'm looking at for one seller, and so on and so forth. I haven't heard back from the first seller that I bought 2 cards. So I bought 2 cards a day. One was, I think, $2, and the other one is $4, and it was free shipping on them, so I'm $6. But I really would like to go back and find all my missing cards there, because I want to say they were my better cards at the time. But, and both of my Charizards were damaged, and I gave somebody, I think, one of them, because they were just happy to have any Charizard. And it was just neat to do that, but and I'm not sure what happened to the other one. And then again, there were some cards I purchased at the gaming store. It's called Wild Things and Games. They've been around for many years. They bought the business from somebody else. Successful business people bought it from a successful business, if that makes sense. You don't take a successful business. Another one I was looking at here and we're almost done here. I was looking at Avery. I just like ones that just look very, I don't know, just bright colored cards with lots of stuff going on here. And there's these Pokemon balls thing that are floating all over Avery's head, and it's got a cool magic / sorting hat or whatever you call it. Not sorting hat, but kind of like a sorcerer type of hat, kind of a Harry Potter looking character with the round glasses and everything, and I just think that's kind of I want to say stunning card, but the art is kind of cool on that. I've never tried to do anime art, it's just not my thing, but I don't know. So that is my kind of video for today. I missed a lot of stuff, but if anybody is doing Pokemon cards, give me some guidance. And I need to figure out what I did with those cards. They're either in a binder or in a box, or I got rid of them when I purged all my cards over the summer or the winter. I really don't know. It's not a big loss, I don't even know what I have. So I'm going to go and research some of these in the binder and see if I have $1 million worth of cards here. And just to show you the binder one more time before we hit the 20-minute mark here. There's the Gyarados. And somebody was doing a Gyarados challenge to get all of them or something like that. Gyarados or whatever. I think it was Gengar. Sorry, it was Gengar. And I think it was Gengar. I don't really remember. And then you can see the Japanese ones, a lot of them have the gold on the back there. And again, I didn't talk about fakes or anything, but if you rip them in half, you can see some sort of black line there. But don't rip your cards in half because then you won't have a card anymore. I wish there was some way to get rid of all the scammers and the damaged I would say the damaged cards, but the fake cards out there, because it just makes it a level playing field. But any collectible you get into, whether it's cards or comics or Pokemon cards or whatever, it is not a fair and level playing field for everybody. And if it was a fair and level playing field for everybody, then there would be no commerce. Nobody would want any of these cards. They would just be, everybody had the same exact deck and the same exact everything. We wouldn't be able to trade. There wouldn't be cards we would want, and there's no rarity, no perceived collectability there. And that's what happens when the market crashes, when everybody can get everything they ever wanted and they can't trade with anybody. So I guess that's today's Friday video, and thank you for watching.